Welcome to the 30-minute hour. It's the personal development podcast for entrepreneurs who are looking to level up and become unstoppable. I'm your host, Eric Twiggs, your procrastination prevention partner. Joining me as always, you know him as the super CEO, the business strategist extraordinaire, and all-around good guy, Ted Fells.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It's good to be here.
Hey, man, it's good. Let me tell you, man. I didn't get to tell you that this morning, but it's good to have you back.
Oh, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I was a couple. So, I did the show solo last week, and I was about to throw it to the super CEO. Then I remembered you weren't there. I was like,
you're by yourself. You held, but thank you for holding it down, man. It's good to be back.
I told everybody, I'm like, look, when you're a super CEO, sometimes you have to go to a conference, right?
You got to go to a conference sometime. You got to.
Absolutely.
Things are opening up now, Eric. They're opening up a bit.
Absolutely. They certainly are.
So it's good.
Yep. So as you can see, this is not your everyday podcast. And somehow, Ted, I get a feeling that our guest today, he fits right in with this whole idea of not your everyday podcast and doing things different. I don't even think we need to warn him because I think
he's going to jump
right in.
Yeah.
With our flow. But definitely we're excited. We'll give him a formal introduction here in just a second. We're going to talk about how to break through to the best version of you. And he's going to help us with that. But by the way, a couple of things I need to make everybody aware of before we get into our show. We did the Thank God It's Monday earlier, and we talked about how your history isn't your destiny. So definitely make sure you go back and check that out on our page. By the way, you can watch us. I know many of you are watching us live here on Facebook. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on LinkedIn. Just go in and type the 30-minute hour into the search bar, and then you'll find us. And you can also go back and listen to these episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all of those other places. But make sure you mark your calendar for this coming Saturday, November 6th, 10 a.m. Eastern time for Coffee and Conversation. We're going to talk about how you should be setting your goals and crafting your vision for 2023. So that's definitely an episode you don't want to miss. That's going to be in the What Now Movement Facebook group. But we're here to talk about how to break through to the best version of you. And our guest is going to help us with that today. He is he's an Austrian, Californian, multidisciplinary artist, speaker, educator, and author. He works on raising the awareness of our limitless human potential and its wisdom. And he's an advocate for helping understand neurodiversity like his dyslexia and dysgraphia. So please join me in welcoming to the 30-minute hour, Michaell Magrutsche.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Ted.
Welcome. Definitely great to have you on.
Such a pleasure with all you gentlemen. I appreciate it. Yes. What are we talking about, boys?
He's ready to go.
He's ready to rock and roll. So I do want to give people kind of the backstory, perspective of how we got to this point. So can you talk to us about like what your childhood was like and how it shaped you into the person you are today?
Yeah, I was a sick child. I was born in Vienna, in Austria, and I was a sick child, and they helped me back in school till I was 7. And then I got the second slap on my face, which was I couldn't understand this thing. I couldn't repeat things. I couldn't read my writing. And that's then they defined me 40 years ago. They defined me as dyslexic, but that was just a definition. And they said, okay, you're slow, you're retarded. Then what the people said. So they couldn't understand it. So they just think, and you're a mistake, and you have to handle it somehow. And I was speaker of the class, always good with people. But I couldn't understand systems. I couldn't understand what church is. I couldn't understand what what school, to comprehend school and then regurgitate the knowledge. And I was literally failing 2 classes at least, and it took me forever. And that was an A personality. I tried to really do it. I wasn't a rebel and didn't want to know. I had tutors and everything, but I just couldn't do it. And so my whole life was like that till I was 30. And then I had to write a resume, and I found, I'm an artist. All my jobs were from a DJ to making mixtapes to fashion show designer to advertising to television. I was always in a creative job. And then the light went a little bit on because then I said, I don't need anybody. And I wasn't famous or anything. But I said, I don't need to wait till somebody tells me I'm an artist or tells me what I am, like a good student or anything. I know what I do because of my history that I experienced. And that started the whole thing. And then I realized that I would have probably been dead without art because, you're driven as a human, you're driven to be inclusion. It's not to be segregated. It's to inclusion. If I want to experience power, I gotta surround myself with every gender, every race, that makes me experience power, absolute power. And that's what's happening in the arts. In the arts, the artists say, only Black people, only white people, only Chinese people, only women, only men. It just, you create a piece of music, create a piece of a play. And obviously there's 2 leads there or 3 leads, but it's the whole that happens. In a business thing, you have levels of, okay, I'm the CEO, I'm on a better level, and whatever I say goes ultimately, even if you're not a despotical CEO, whatever you say ultimately goes. And in the theater, if it's not working together, if the light or it doesn't work, it doesn't go on. It doesn't appear. The music, it doesn't get recorded. The play is not going to be played, and the painting is not finished. So you always have, which is a very humane way of creating the arts. And I realized that. At least one of one, I just unveiled art. I didn't invent those. Those are not theories. Those are, when I tell you, otherwise you would say, hey, that's not true. No. So that's how we do.
Yeah. Now, thank you for sharing that. I want to go back. You mentioned growing up with dyslexia, and I've noticed just this pattern. There are a lot of successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, entertainers who all were diagnosed with dyslexia. What is it about? Why do you think that is that so many people have, and in yourself, have that diagnosis and go on to great success?
I don't have system success, but I have personal success. So what dyslexia or any neurodiversity does is basically give you a different perspective on what human puzzle you are in the whole puzzle of humanity. It just gives you a different perspective. And what the humanity needs is not sameness and conformity. So, our power is because you are different. I'm attracted to a girl, not because everybody's attracted to the same girl. I'm attracted to that girl, and that's what the thing is. I think dyslexia, this thing, there's a reason for it. There's always a reason, and nature doesn't make mistakes. So having dyslexia would have been no big deal if there weren't systems that want conformity to function. But because there are systems, then any race, any neurodiversity, any oddness, where you don't fit in the system, it stocks. It doesn't work. And then our own judgment of, we are wrong, makes us incapable of contributing. And so I think the CEOs and all this stuff, they are that because they have a fresh look at stuff. They're out. I mean, when what I say is, it's, you feel it, it's right, it's correct, but it's just a different perspective, which completes your perspective then. And this is how we are powerful. That's how we limitless together, So I believe that, like Richard Branson and I think Tom Cruise, all these people, they have just a different look of it. And because they have a different look, they don't go with what we have already done, our conditioning, like the problem, right? When you look at a problem, and Einstein said that already, you cannot look from the problems, but you need to be a higher, a bigger context, so you can to solve that problem. But in the problem solving is the problem that you can't create something. Let's say a problem arises, and it's just, and you change one part of it, like the system does. Saving money, just shift one part, and now it's functioning. It never functions right, but it functions again a little bit, and you just say, oh my God, we have the next quarter, we can survive. But basically, you're using the ingredients for a problem, changing one ingredient, and keep going on and pushing it on. And that makes us blind.
Yeah.
We are not aware that problems can be solved from the level of problems. You need to get outside the box to understand that the ingredients of the problems are wrong. That's why we have a problem.
Yeah, and so it sounds like, and people that I've been around that have been highly successful, they're very creative, and they do tend to think outside of the box, as opposed to just always trying to 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
So
it's not linear. I mean, our life is not linear.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I'm single. I have a girlfriend, and now I'm happy. That doesn't work.
Right.
It could be, but it doesn't mean that. I'm poor. I'm making money. I'm happy. No. And what is happiness is fulfilled. That's where we're driven to. We're driven to fulfilledness, to be fulfilled, to have fun in the moment, to enjoy.
Hey, I've got to go to this school. I've got to get good grades. I'm going to graduate. Then I'm going to get this job. Then I'm going to work here for a while. Then I have to work here for No.
It's not, because that's in the future, and you will be always chasing the future. You will always change your mind construct that you have, which is the imagination that you will be successful. You're going to say, how successful am I now? Like, what's now? Your definition. Where is my success now? It's all here. You just need to unveil it. It's all here. Your talents, everything. You're not looking. You look because you're always in that, I'm going to do Harvard, and then I get a major job. They get the hot chick, and then I get this and that. That's mind constructs. Or my dad was this. I shouldn't worry. It's going to all be happy. No, It doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm. No, this is a great conversation. And I don't think it's an accident. Now, even now, a lot of organizations, when they're looking for talent, they're looking for people out of the fine arts department.
Yeah.
People that are more creative.
Yeah.
They're even saying like the UCLA fine arts department is what like the Harvard Business School used to be, where people are looking for people who can kind of think more creatively and outside the box, which kind of leads to my next question. So I'm curious, like, how does your work as an artist, how does that help you to raise awareness of this limitless human potential?
The art creation, we have to separate art, which is the product, right? The piece of music, the painting, whatever, and the creation. And the art creation I unveiled basically in my last book, The Smart of Art. I unveiled that art creation is so much more valuable than the art product can ever be. The art product is valuable in the system value. The art creation is value in the human value. It gives you so much human awareness and self-awareness. And art helps me everything. I mean, listen to me. I have no education. I have a hard time reading. I mean, reading to audiobooks and I'm spacing out, So everything, my whole awareness and everything is done from creating art. I pulled that out. And also because I studied, I said, oh my God, I can't believe 97% worldwide artists are poor. Look at what our world, can you imagine what we created, this world without art? But then in the system, it's 97% existing on the poverty line. What is this? There's something wrong. And this is like the God of creation. It's like everything is creation, everything we have. Our Apple, Nike, all these companies, this is all great creations. And there is the Cadillac of creation, and we just deny it. It doesn't exist. Because otherwise there wouldn't be in the systems that 97% are poor, worldwide. It's not just in America or anywhere. It's worldwide. And all you hear is from the 1 or 2% on top. And so when I have, for example, I have an exhibition on an international airport or something, or I write a book, or I'm elected to arts commissioner. Oh, you must be all off and you need to be great and have so much power. I don't. It's just, I do everything to have that job and enjoy that job or do that job. But I think, according to when I think about the system, definition, if you get a show, you're set. No, you're not. You know that from artists. You guys know from artists, they can be super successful and have no money, and then I found also out that working hard, being successful, and making money are three complete different things. They have nothing to do. They can interweave, but look what.
Hang on. That was very interesting because it kind of goes back to something Ted and I talk about. Well, do you want to have a business and make money? Can you say it again? You talked about the working hard, being successful, and making money.
Working hard, being successful, and making money have zero together with each other. They can intervene, but have zero together with each other because half of the workforce, or 60% of the workforce of the world, makes $5.50 a day. They have to survive with $5.50. Can you imagine to say, how would you shame more humans to say, these are all lazy bastards, they don't work hard, So what else can the system, how much can we submit to systems to believe that crap? When the people around the world, and 8 people own 40% of the earth. First of all, the earth should never be owned. Should be, you visit, you pay rent, and you leave. It belongs to everything. It belongs to humanity, not to you or anybody. You can. I mean, how can that be? Do you think the giraffe says, "Oh, that plot is mine. Don't touch it"? The birds say, "Screw you! I'm going to go and eat." And I'm not saying we don't need systems, but we need systems that are human adaptable and not humans that are system adaptable to keep systems in place. And humans lose to their life energy, their life force to navigate. The tax system makes new taxes. On the other side are humans that are also 3 kids, and they try to navigate the taxes, not to pay the taxes. But the losers are both. On both sides are the losers because we waste all that life force navigating and creating new systems. Bullshit. Bullshit. So it doesn't go anywhere.
So you speak about systems, right? So we've got entrepreneurs that maybe they've been an engineer their whole life. They've been an accountant, something that tends to attract more of the linear thinker. But they look at you, Michael, and they say, you know what? I want to be creative like Michael. I want to be more of an artist. What advice would you have for that person?
First of all, they need to understand that they are kind of artists already. Because when you create something of an imagination, that's what an artist does, right? I feel like that music, that song, that note. I feel like that color. And you feel like, Eric, I feel like I need to make a podcast. That's an idea. That's a physical thought that comes in. And once you realize, you're aware of that thought, it's physical. And then you can act on that thought or not. So let's say you want to create your podcast. So you start interacting with, I want to do a podcast. And your emotion says yes. If your emotion says, no, I need to make a podcast to make a lot of money. If you want to make money, go in the money business. Don't waste your time with a job. If you like
money business.
Yeah, don't go into a job. A job needs to be fulfilling. And the symptom of a fulfilled job, like the artist is the money. So the more you hone your muscle, the skill of from your non-conscious to your conscious self. Like non-conscious, you go out to sleep. You're not conscious that you're in your body. And then in the morning you come back in your thing. So you're dying every night, right? And then, so you having a conversation with your thoughts. You feel you need to make that podcast, right? And you're just thinking, remember how you guys started, you just start conversation. And you say, oh, let's try this. And that's why I say failure, mistakes, and attempts are the cobblestones of the road to success. They're not, you just go in and out. Oh, that makes sense. Good. And you guys have the feeling. This works. And then Ted says, no, don't do that. Or you say, no, I want to do it. And you argue and all of a sudden, and then it comes for some reason, next day we wake up and say, oh, I know what we do. And it's either Ted's or yours or some new solution for that. And that's the rewarding thing. That's the awareness. That's the success awareness. Oh, so next time something similar comes up, you know where to go, what to do. Because it's about the awareness, not the knowledge.
So let's talk about that. I think we're on a good path here. You say it's about the awareness and not the knowledge. What's the difference?
Knowledge is something that's limited, that is a system navigation tool. It's like, okay, I'm going to do a plumbing business. And in a plumbing business, I know if I order this kind of pipes that whatever diameter, I order this kind of types, I will sell. I'm not going to put that in my storage. I just go and buy that at a hardware store. But if I buy these that are very rare but used a lot and know sooner or later everybody will use it, so that's knowledge. That means the wisdom is you have a feeling for the market, and the knowledge is based on money. So basically saving money or making money with how you act. It's system-based knowledge and it's money-based. Every system works on the money principles. The problem is only what we have reached today, that we have created. We are so successful creators, everybody. That's creativity. That's why it's superpower. We're creating so much better, more or faster things that we now have no time to consume them, to find them, to consume them, and to experience the service. Does that mean? That was crazy. When I thought about this, I was like, oh my God, it's not about we don't create the good stuff or the right stuff. Even if we create the greatest stuff and the right stuff, the people have no time to find you. You guys could have the best podcast in the world. And if I get to all the people to see and experience it, but even if you get to the people, do they have the time to listen to an episode? Do they have a time to give you 5 minutes? No, nobody has the time. They must like you, or they must say, hey, this Michaell looks funny. Let me look at that, But because it's the freshness, the freshness is important, yeah. So something fresh, you look at that. But that's we have the pivot point. I think that's why you see all these big Netflix and all these big companies crashing down now, because they create the super products and the services and everything. They give you half of the shit for free. They give you their products for free because every marketer says you gotta give a lot of for free stuff. So what if I get 20 books from you when I can't even read one? You understand? And to get to, let's say you guys are the master consulting company, and you give me 5 books, and you give me a coffee cup. First of all, I have so many coffee cups, I don't even know how to use it. But then you give me the books. I don't have the time. So if I find you for some reason, and you connect with me, so you give me 5 books, you give me a free course, you give me a free session. I don't have, not the money, even if I have $1 million in the bank, I don't have the time to give you the time. And that's what business people all over the world need to realize. It's not the money, it's the time that limits us, because financial principle says more, better, faster. And now we don't have the time to create it. And that's insane. That's insanity. This described insanity. It's like, hey, you got to run against the wall. And everybody keeps running against the wall. It doesn't work.
Yeah. So to me, I mean, from what I see, a lot of the businesses that tend to have more success are good at grabbing people's attention, because like you said, it's just so much information.
To a certain extent, Eric, a crappy product gets your attention and you're never going to buy that product again. A crappy service. So it's a process of self-elimination. So the solution, I'm thinking about solution because that's what I'm working on right now. The solution is, number one, quality before quantity. Because, for example, the iPhone is the only product that has a high price and is the most used, is a mass product.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you look at Toyota, right? It's a mass product, but it's an average price. But Apple is a top product and very high priced and is a market leader. That shows you our limitlessness. That shows you the human, when they work together right, and when everything is gelling, they can even create. So all the theory, oh, you want to have a mass product and it needs to be cheap? Bullshit. Don't look at history. Be in the moment. What would you buy? What would you do? Would you enjoy that? And see the possibilities there, because you can go to Harvard Business School and everywhere, and they will say, impossible. You can't be the market. Unless you do something that nobody has, you cannot be a market leader. A phone, everybody has a phone. The whole world has phones. How can you be a market leader with the highest value? Because the value kind of reflects what it is. So quality is a major thing. Quality.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, quality and value.
And quality, human adaptiveness. Yeah. So that humans don't need to slide and push to pick up a phone. I mean, in the old days, you grabbed the handle and you picked it up. Why do you need to do sliding and this and that? And then you have a thing and it rattles and this. It's complicated. And for me, it's 3 times as for dyslexia and neurodiverse. I can fill out a form. It takes me 5 times as long as you to fill out a form. Even with the autofill, I have to reread it and to just navigate. So the people and the system doesn't give a crap about that,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then people that don't have neurodiversity or are not aware, they're shaming themselves. They say, everybody fills out the form, but I can't. And if people then don't fill out the form, they're lazy. They don't want to play in the system. See, the shame is always there. You are unworthy, you're unworthy, and you're unworthy. And it doesn't need to have words to say that. And you guys know that, right? You don't need to be word. You don't need words to feel what that person feels.
Oh, absolutely. No, and that's a good point you made as far as the value being critical, because you can grab people's attention, but the other side of the people have a whole lot of choices. So
Yeah.
if it's a crappy product, like you say, they'll just move on
Jump
to the
to the
next
next
thing.
one.
So if you want to have staying power, definitely you need to grab attention and have value and quality
Yeah.
behind what you're doing. So I'm
Yeah.
curious. So what steps can people take to achieve their potential and become the best versions of themselves?
That is system talk, Eric. That is system talk.
System.
There's no steps. I don't have goals. There's no steps. It's the awareness.
Okay.
You got to be aware of of your humanity. You got to be aware of the moment. And all the solutions are coming to you. It's not about steps because steps is saying, again, future is pushing yourself in the, if you do that, you're good that. That's a system formula. But the best success. I mean, it takes 25 minutes to write Yellow Submarine, to create something phenomenal doesn't take long.
Is that how long it took to write that song?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But Keith Richards also, Satisfaction took 15 minutes or something, an hour. So the best song, just look, you should read up on Google how long it takes to make the best songs or best paintings or whatever. Shortest time, because they weren't thinking about, I'm going to make the next super song. I'm going to make the thing. They were in the moment. That's why art creation is so much more valuable, because it teaches you, because you can't think, I need to get this to my wife. I need to pick up the car. While you're creating. It's like thinking about your podcast. When you can say, oh, damn, I need to do this. I need to do that. You can't. You said, hey, I need to solve that problem with Ted and me. We're going to make this work. Nobody cares about their wives at that moment, and that's not chauvinistic. That's just, you can't. You have to create something. And that's what it is. So I don't have steps. I say, be aware. And you become aware if you listen to my 20-second podcast, which is just a quote and a question, because this teaches you everything about creation, and business is about creation. The only thing that defines business is that you make something different than another. This is the real business. First of all, it should be always win, win, win. The owner wins, the team wins, and the customer wins. So the awareness of that will get you through the toughest times. And and that's all you need to know. I need to do win, win, win. And if it's human or if it's in the system. So am I now trying to be a system navigator, or am I trying to, with my business, this is what I like the most, said, what is the part of my business that contributes to humanity? And define that, write that down somewhere and put that in your vision statement. Is what is if I did like just rubber boots, what is my part for humanity, and what is special about my rubber boots for not the system? You can set it down too. You can say, hey, what is needed? But it's the reverse thing. Is it what rubber boots are needed in the system? And that's what I'm creating. But what's really is, if you really love rubber boots, then say, we're creating these pink rubber boots or red rubber boots. And for the humanity value is that rubber boots are not always black. They are another color. They're fresh. They have daisies on them. They have this. And that makes people happy. See how much I get right away into that. A rubber boot, a damn rubber boot can be a fulfilling a product that you make. And you find that not in the system, because the system has no emotions. It's static. So you always go, I'm doing mineral water. Why is my mineral water for humanity? What is the part of, and focus on that. And you will be happy, and that happiness will transfer to others. And the symptom will be you're making money. Your business will work.
So, for example, I think I know where you're going here. So like, I used to do these speech competitions, right? And I had a mentor, mentor who actually won this. I was a Toastmasters International. It was like the World Championship of Public Speaking. I have a mentor who won, and he would always tell me, Eric, look, don't focus on the trophy. Focus on
Exactly.
communicating your message clearly to the audience in the best way possible. Focus on changing and impacting lives with your message. When you open your hand, then they may hand you a trophy. But it's really the focus is on the audience. And I'm your competitive type A personality. I remember at first I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to win this thing. But as I think about it, that is more and more true. I think that's 100% right. I think that aligns with what you're saying. Can you expand on that?
There are what I said. The creations milk the creation process. Milk that now that we three gentlemen are sitting here interacting. Milk that. Enjoy that. Suck it dry. What if we get viewers? Who cares? If we get them, we get them. They will find us. If that was a valuable conversation, they, for humans, they will find us. And I think you are absolutely right. It's the product. Talk to people that got it. Talk to people that got the $1 billion. Talk to people who got the Oscars. It's never the Oscars. It's like that's the system conditioning. Oh, you gotta have $1 billion. You have $1 million. You should get the Oscar. You should get the Grammy. You should get through the finish line. And it's not the finish line that gets you. It's the finish line. It's the finish line is just your thing of completion. But there is a gratification in the completion. I'm not saying if I get a check for $1 million, I will say, oh no, I'm not going to take it. But but I enjoyed my journey there. And comes in that journey is more important than, and your teacher told you that, your mentor. Your journey is more important than. But I think I looked at Toastmasters. I was completely failure. I couldn't do anything in Toastmasters. And look at me rattling on. I just because it was regurgitating something. I can't regurgitate. I need to go in the moment. I'm prepared. I haven't read your questions, by the way. So I got them. Thank you. You're very nice. But I haven't read your questions because I would fail so miserable if I would prepare that. It would be the most boring conversation.
No, I mean, I think it's about the art, really. And I think
the creativity that we have that muscle. We all have that muscle.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to be aware of. You have the muscle, and you and I, we all three can say, oh, tomorrow we run a marathon. No, we can't. We need to practice for that. But without awareness, if you think I need to go to an artist to get that, then you exclude yourself. You need to look first. What can I do? How far can I go? And then use an artist or whatever. But I think you need to be aware first that you're a man. You can't do man stuff if you're not aware you're a man. So you need to know that you're an artist and creativity, because you're creative.
Yeah, I mean,
and
you have to know that you're an artist.
The most human thing, we make each other laugh. What does system say? Never laugh, never joke, all serious. So they get all the life truths of you that you focus in on a system task that makes you miserable. It's all about humanity. It's all about the jiving with each other. It's laughing with each other. It's crying with each other. And that's priceless. There is no system value for that. And that's why systems don't use it. They don't want you to do it because they don't want you to have fun. You're a nuisance. Your humanity is a nuisance to systems. That's how far we have come. And that's why people don't have value. They think humans have no value.
So you're the host of the Smart of Art podcast.
Yeah.
So you started talking about that briefly. Tell us more about that.
Okay.
What's the format?
You know me, no education, nothing. I don't know anything. Okay. So I thought, how the hell can I get my book? Nobody reads books. So I wrote 5 books and nobody reads books and nobody has the time to find my books even. Right. So I did. I said, oh my God, there's so much wisdom and awareness in this. After I sort out quotes from them with a question. For example, art is a tool to experience heaven on earth, right? So other than sex, give me another one. There's nothing. You want to experience heaven on earth? A music, a painting, a play, a movie that you see, that is heaven on earth. Nothing asked from you. You don't have to do anything. You just enjoy, and it gives you a contact to. We can create heaven on earth. And I said, explain. And then I question with it, explain to me, or can you remember the last time this quote was correct with you, resonated with you? And it's just a question for you to get you really into the awareness of what art is. It's not a product that costs a lot of money. It is the art creation, the potential in art creation. When you see that, then people will pay for artists. But humanity doesn't see it because it's only about the product. And that's an art business, and that's not art. Art business is not art. Art business is what we think it is art. But it has so distracted us from the creation of art that we're lost. That everybody, I don't know, I'm not an artist. Okay, you can't talk about me. But of course you can. Of course you can. You can't talk about sports. You can't talk about art.
I think that's a big part of the problem right there. People start telling themselves, "Oh, I'm not an artist. I'm just not creative. I'm
not good. I'm not a businessman. I can't do this business. It's all over." Because in systems that they condition us, we are blind that we condition ourselves, because behind systems are humans too. We are conditioning ourselves against each other, and we can never win that, Eric. Eric, we have extinct generations, civilizations of humans, the Mayans and so on. We have extinct all these civilizations. We know we can extinct ourselves. We have to come together. And not like the systemic thing, let's whole thing and be politically correct. So you have your black friends, or one white friend. No, it doesn't matter how your friends look. We have to do it together. If it's all black friends, all white friends, it doesn't matter. If it's all Chinese friends or all women, it doesn't matter. We have to come together.
So it sounds like if someone tunes into your Smart of Art podcast, it'll help them come to the awareness that they've got some creativity within them.
Exactly. Because the art is the tool to humanity. I call art the language of wisdom. And I proved that because I have 120 quotes. I have 350 quotes on that. And they're all original quotes. So if there wasn't wisdom to get, I wouldn't get the quotes. And they are not stolen from anyone. Those are all my quotes. And all I'm good at with my dyslexia is to unveil. I mean, to see what I do in this podcast. I'm the example from what I do.
Yeah, this is a very interesting episode. We're talking about this idea of just creativity and not just going along with the system. So we're at the part of the show where it's called Write This Down, and this is where we each go around and leave at least one idea from today's episode that we want our entrepreneur followers to write down so they can level up. So Michaell, you're our guest of honor. What should the people write down based on this episode?
The true north should be for every humanity and nature, not systems. That's all I need to write down. The true north of humanity, the true north of every human being should be humanity and nature, meaning other humans and nature, not systems. If you can compartmentalize, and I think we gave a lot of examples. We three give a lot of example. And by the way, I love Ted not talking, because Ted is creating space. He just sits here, and that's why you miss him. Do you get that? You can't paint a picture without somebody giving space. Right? Am I right, Ted?
Man, I've been just taking all this in, Michaell. Man, this is just...
No, I love it. I love it because I want to make sure. This is what I show. I show that Ted is an unbelievable valuable in a human, not in a system. In a system, say, hey, we can do this with two. A system would say here, we can do this with two people. But it wouldn't be the same conversation without Ted. And you know that, Eric. You mentioned that. I missed you. Do you see how much wisdom and awareness it is if we just all put our focus to the right point? Without a canvas, without space, I can't create music. Without silence, I can't create music. Without space, I can't create a play. Without a canvas, I can't paint a painting. And everything that exists is value if you say something or not. You don't have to. There's so much noise in this world anyway. It's all noise. Nobody says anything that's has any value. And so that's what the problem is. We can't find the valuable things.
No, I mean, that's a great point. So people need to write that down. The true north is humanity and nature, and not the specific system. So Ted, with your
Man. I'll be honest, I don't even know where to start. I mean, this is just, man, it's been so deep, so just, the whole thing, when you think about it, man, he made it, Michael said it in such a simple form when he talks about humanity and nature. And you're just like, man, like, I guess that's right.
That is simple. It's not. Yeah. We always tend to say, oh, it's deep. No. In the human form, it's not deep. It's simple. If I would have used all what I explained to you through the system to knowledge, it would take me. First of all, this episode would have been 8 hours, and it wouldn't be comprehensible. I'm talking to humans. I'm not talking to a system. And you see also, I say it's simple. Yes, because it is simple. Life. You think a giraffe or an elephant thinks about what to do and what to do? And no, we're just being in the moment and existing and enjoying the company, enjoying being. This is we have fun. We create together. We are in the moment and we love it. Nobody. If I say now everybody's dying, and they say, "Did you guys miss that you had the last 40 minutes with Michael?" No, this was one of the best times. I wouldn't. Michael, did you like to be on a podcast? Wouldn't you rather be, if that's your last time, eat your last meal? I said, hell no. Hell no. Screw the last meal, I'm saying, yeah, we are it, and you are with all humans you come in contact with. We are it. In the moment.
Wow.
All right.
Just makes me just feel like this whole calendar I got for the rest of the week, just wipe all that off. It's just kind of get up and be in the moment. Life would be a lot less stressful. I can tell that.
Take it day by day. Take it baby steps. You have your calendar no matter what. But just take it and enjoy that process, because if you just get through it to get through the calendar, you're missing life. And then try to compartmentalize what you separated. Okay, this calendar. Okay, this is just system crap, filling out forms, and find somebody else to fill it out, or don't fill them out. But this is just, or going to this commission meeting or whatever, and that it's just a system quack that nobody. It doesn't change it. Or, go political, get engaged politically. If it's about human and says, okay, how can I use politics to help humans? Right. I always focus on the human perspective. It's not about money. It's about getting housing for people, getting food for people. And then don't give them shitty food. Give them the best food that you can. Give them the best food that you can. We have enough money. We have enough. We have everything enough. We create 2.9 times as much food on this earth that we can actually consume. So what are we doing? What are we doing? And 25,000 people a day die of starvation.
Yeah.
And what are we doing? Let's wake up and say, hey, be in the moment. Let's help each other and wake up and say, these systems we have enough need to become human adaptive. and not we humans adapt to the system. And then, 25,000 people didn't have good food because somehow the system, it doesn't deem to feed the people. So they got just 25,000 people die. 80,000 people in the thing by a system, not by a hurricane. I don't, some shit happens. The hurricane, the thing that happens, there's nothing we can do. But a system is created by us. And we create, and it is so flawed that it creates 2.5 times as much food that we actually can consume. And 25,000 people die daily of starvation in the world. What the hell is going on? And that's when you are, and all this stuff happens the moment you see humans, and I'm not talking race or sexuality or gender. You see humans as one thing, and you see systems. Once you're clear on that, all this, you don't need to learn the steps or whatever. You get compartmentalists and keep rolling that over in your head, or realizing, okay, this is system crap. You get out of it. You don't spend as much. You spend the most on human stuff, because that's what everybody tells you. The billionaires that are dying, they say, what is the biggest? What would you like? What thing you miss? And they say, I miss not to get another million, not to get another billion, not to buy that building, not to get that business. They say, I wish I was with my dog. I was more walking in nature. I was with my family. I was with that one woman that I never pursued. It's all about humans. So when you die, you're getting wise, right? You're releasing all that crap that you were conditioned with. And then and there's so many research, and they all say the same thing. So we are aware as a society about that, but still we do the other thing.
Yeah, no, and I think you're making a great point. I mean, for my thing as far as for writing this down is kind of one of the big themes of this episode is make it about the art. And I've had former clients who signed on because they got into this business because they were told as a turnkey, you can make money, but they really weren't passionate about it. Matter of fact, in some cases, they hated the business.
Exactly.
So now they own a job that they're miserable at. And they're not having this, and they weren't having the success that they would have if they really genuinely
enjoyed
it.
Yeah. And that's why I say, if you do anything for money, please go into money business. Because I do everything for art. Art was so appreciated. I learned so much. Look at me. I mean, I'm an example of what art creation gave me. If I wouldn't like art, I wouldn't be in that position. And the same thing is if you want money. Money is always a symptom. It's not a cause.
Yep.
And you see all the stock market's collapsing because people thought, I don't need to work. I don't need to fulfill. I don't need to find out what I like. I just make money. Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
So I just think like if you're a podcast host, you're an author, you're doing one of those things. I think you have to focus on the art and delivering value, like we talked about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Delivering a valuable product, and the people will come if you're delivering a valuable product. That I think that has to be the main focus. Even if it's one person, you just never know.
Yeah, Eric, that is the cause. That is absolutely the solution to the situation we have. The problem is it's so noisy, and we have to create so much product that people, even if they had the money, they don't have the time to see that. That's what I think. They don't have the time to find you, to give you a minute to listen what you have to offer. That is the problem. If you have the highest quality of product, and that's the sad thing. It's like the beggar doesn't know his value because he has no system value. Because human value you guys have. See, and that's what we need to ponder. We have the human value, but the system value, because it is based on creating more and more and more to get more money, but less time that people can find you to make money. It's a self-defeating It's a self-defeating principle. It doesn't work. The economic principle does not work. I mean, it always creates instability. It always, humans need to sleep. Humans need to relax. Humans need to be in nature. Humans need to talk to each other. And it doesn't work. And the company money works 24 hours, and we can't compete with that. And that brings us out of balance. Then we get stressed, and then Ted says, I can't even look at my calendar anymore. No.
Well, Michael, again, this is one of those conversations. This could be like a 3-hour show, but we know you got some stuff to do, so we don't want to keep you. So how can the people connect with you, get more information?
My podcast is called The Smart of Art, The Power of Art and Creativity. And it's on every platform. And it's 20 seconds, twice a week. It's nothing, and the only reason why I have a podcast is I want to speak the words, because in words, when you write it down, it's limited, but when you hear the emotions in what I say and a question, then you get the wisdom and the awareness more. And because it's about creating art, it's not about an art product. I don't tell you why you should pay $1 million for a basketball. So it's all about the creation of art, which is a part of human nature, creation. We all need to tinker. A CEO that works 80 hours a week, what does he do on the weekend? He goes in the garden, or he goes on his car and tinkers. And we need to be human. We need to be tactile. We need to hug each other. We need to, not to hug everyone, but we need to be human. That's what we are. And you find everything on michaelm.com. Michael with 2 L's, michaelm.com. And you find how to connect to me, all the social media, everything, the music, my art, everything.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again for being our guest and sharing everything you shared and inspiring our followers. And for those of you watching us, don't forget to share the show.
Share the show.
And repeat it. Re-listen to it, because there's so much. We did so much. This is like 5 shows. This is so much. We did. Because Ted was not saying anything. That's why. And he was such a good canvas and such a great space. No, I really say that, Ted. This is not a joke. You just you're anchoring the whole thing,
Just taking it in, Michael. Just taking it all in. Yeah. It was so much. It was so much. We're trying to back.
Anytime we want to talk about something specific, any topic, I'm game.
There you go.
We'll definitely appreciate that.
Thanks,
all right.
guys.
So don't forget to go back to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any of those places and listen to this episode of 30-Minute Hour Podcast. That is our time for this week. And until next time, have a great one.